Hey everybody, it's Tamara from Moogly, and I am live today on YouTube. It is the end of February 2020, and it has been another fantastic month on Moogly. I just came about half an hour or so ago from doing a live on Facebook where I showed off the latest projects and patterns and gave a couple sneak peeks. So definitely go to the link in the description to check that out if you want to see that. Also, at the link in the description are links, of course, to everything I talked about, including the Leap Day Make Along coming up this weekend, so you'll definitely want to check that out. But there's also a photo tutorial for what I'm about to demonstrate for you live here today, and that is DIY felted dryer balls. Now, dryer balls are something that you can purchase. I've seen ones that are beautifully handmade in specialty stores and craft shops. I've seen them sold in a big bag at the grocery store, and of course, the big box stores. But you can absolutely make your own, which all of us, if you knit or crochet, you love DIY, right? You like doing it yourself. You've walked into a store and said, I can make that. Well, dryer balls are one of the easiest things you can make with yarn. Absolutely no crochet or knitting skills required. Minimal manual dexterity, fun for the whole family, and best of all, it's a really, really green project. You make these dryer balls. It's just basically a big ball of wool. You throw it in with your clothes in the dryer, and it will dry the clothes a little bit faster. It softens them without having to use fabric softener. We haven't used fabric softener in years. Possibly decades at this point. But these dryer balls, and they last nearly forever. I will tell you, I started out with about 6. A couple of them have probably disappeared in the kids' rooms along with their laundry. One the dog did get a hold of, unfortunately, but it was just wool, so no harm done other than having to clean up a little bit of a mess from the floor. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit refresh here on my little laptop because I want to be able to bring up this live video and see your comments and questions. There it is. Now I just have to click on it. Make sure my volume's off, and I should be able to see the chat here. So, okay, while that loads up, if you are watching live, please give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you're watching. Leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. So it looks like it is going now. Unless that was the last one. Nope, that was the last one. Shoot, I clicked on the wrong thing. Let me see if I can try and get this going here so I can follow along with you guys. YouTube, fun, technology doesn't always cooperate. While I'm trying to get that loaded, I do want to say thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed. There it is, found the right video. We are at over 159,000 subscribers, which is amazing and awesome, and I'm so grateful. So thank you so much. And yay, there it is. I can see your comments. Finally got it going. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Zelda, Kathleen, Charlotte, Chris, hi again. Thank you so much. So, okay, now we can go ahead and get started. Basically, DIY felted dryer balls are very, very simple. The key is that you need to use a yarn that hasn't been treated to keep it from felting. Most wool yarns, and that's the other thing, it has to be 100% wool. Most wool yarns on the market these days have been treated with superwash or, I'm not a yarn manufacturer. However, they've been treated to keep them from felting, which means that the fibers won't glom onto each other and create that really solid fabric. So what I like to use for these is Peyton's Classic Wool Roving, which you can see right here. It is readily available. It is certainly available on the Yarnspirations website. It is 100% wool. And one of the ways that you know it's going to felt is it's 100% hand wash, lay flat to dry. We are going to break all those rules in order to felt it today. So let me go ahead, and if you want to come down here to the table, I'll show you what I've made. This is the end result here. Sorry, there's all my little notes of links to make sure I talk about everything. This is the end result of this. You just take this and literally take off the label and start winding it into a ball. You can wind it around a couple fingers, fold it up, just keep winding it, winding it, winding it, just as if you had a big ball of yarn that had become a big yarn tangled mess and you wanted to wind it up nicely. I can see we're having a couple issues here with the lighting, so I'll try and get that sorted here in a minute. But basically, after you've wound it around and around, maybe if I get some more color in there, that'll keep it from flaring up. There, nope. Oh well. Anyway, wind it around and around and around until you have just that little end, and then you're going to take your crochet hook and just use that crochet hook to pull all those little ends down in there. If you don't have a crochet hook, you can try and use your fingers, but you just want to secure the end under there really well. It doesn't have to be perfect, but once it's on there, that's pretty good. Then, once you've got it wound into a ball, like I said, minimal skills, that's all you're doing. Wind it into a ball. You're going to take some cheap knee highs, whether you've got, you know, an old pair of hose in your drawer. I actually had to go out and buy some because it's been so long. I was hoping to get one of those little eggs. Do you guys remember when legs came in tiny little plastic eggs for like 50 cents? Can't get those anymore. Had to get a big pack. But basically, you want to take some piece of hosiery. Doesn't have to be brand new. It can certainly be used, although clean would be ideal. And then you can just get the ball right on in there, like so. And you want to try and push it down in there a fair bit. And the great thing is you can do several balls in one piece of hosiery. So as long as your hose is, you can keep stuffing it with balls. But once you've got one in there, you want to take a little bit of acrylic yarn or scrap yarn, not the same type of yarn. So I use Caron Simply Soft because I know it can handle the washer and dryer without, you know, felting itself. And you just want to take a little scrap of it. Let me grab my scissors here. Oops, got two pairs. There we are. So we take a little scrap of yarn and just tie each one off so that they stay nice and separate. Doesn't have to be fancy. You're just going to throw this away when you're all done. So a good old double knot so it's nice and secure, like so. And then you can stuff in the next one, tie that off, almost like little sausages if you're familiar with those. So after you've got your basically your sausage of dryer balls, you want to go ahead and throw that in the washer and then the dryer on hot. So I threw mine in with, and don't worry about the pantyhose. Like I said, these are old hose or scrap hose. We don't need to keep those nice. I threw this in with my whites, just all the towels and things, for about 3 loads, and then went ahead and dried it on high along with that laundry. And that's it. That's all I've done. So now for the live reveal. And I have to admit, this cracked me up when it came out of the dryer, and I'm not going to talk about why. If you've used your imagination, I'm sure you can see why this was kind of amusing to me as I pulled it out of the dryer. Now, obviously, these hose are done for. You can see I probably could have pushed down and tied it a little bit tighter. But one of the interesting things I noticed right away is that it had shrunk. You can see these are the ones that have been through the dryer. This is the one that has not. You can see it is noticeably smaller. So that's a really good sign. So, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just cut open the hose. If I wanted to, I could probably finagle out the yarn and try and save the hose, but for the fun of the reveal, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it and peel it off and see how it turned out. I'm so excited. This is the first one of these I've ever made. Oh, it looks like it's stuck a little bit to the hosiery, but we'll just take our time and peel that off a little bit right there, like so, and done. That's it. Now you can still see the lines a little bit, but you can definitely see. Let me go ahead and release the one that isn't felted yet so we can get a better comparison here. Here we are. So you can see just how much it's shrunk, how much of the yarn definition it's lost, and really it is a solid thing. Now if I wanted to, I could probably pick it apart, but at this point I'd say it's ready to go ahead and throw it in the dryer with my laundry. Some people like to add a little drop of essential oil for scent to these. I prefer to keep my laundry unscented, so it's up to you. I think it would be fun as this continues to felt down just a little bit more. If you could even throw it in the washer and dryer a couple more times, it would be fun to see if you could add some just stripes of color, you know, just for added interest, add a couple stripes of color, throw it back in the stocking, wash it a couple more times, get some fun stripes on there, or even try needle felting on these. I think you could create some really lovely, just custom dryer balls. And of course, a basket of these would make a really lovely gift for a housewarming. So that is about it. It is really that simple. So when I come back up here, basically that's it. Like I said, it's a very, very simple craft. You don't need any particular skills. If you can wind yarn into a ball, you're all set. The key is really to make sure that it is that 100% wool, that it is something that is going to felt. Because if you use like Chic Sheep by Marley Bird, a gorgeous wool yarn, it's not going to work because it's not going to felt. Her yarn's been treated, so it won't do that. So let's see. I'm just going to look through the comments here and make sure we don't have any questions. There's a Kathleen party happening, I think. So hello, all the Kathleens. That was great. And yes, oh, and Charlotte said she was just thinking about doing this yesterday, so that's awesome. Folding laundry right now. Love it. I was folding some laundry this morning myself. Let's see. So, and oh, yeah, you could absolutely make little felted eggs, make it in an egg shape. An Easter craft that would be a lot of fun. Decorate that with the other colors. Just stuff them down in the hose and then wash and dry. Easy peasy. So this was a lot of fun, and I think this would be a great craft too to do with your kids, or if you've got like a Girl Scout troop or somebody you need, just a craft night with your friends who aren't necessarily crafters or crocheters or knitters all the time. And it's just a really fun project. And of course, it's practical too. I used one whole skein to make one of these balls. But if you wanted to, you could absolutely, get 2 or 3 smaller balls out of here. Or like I say, make egg shapes, whatever you like. It's, the possibilities are kind of endless. And it was a lot of fun felting. I have done needle felting before, but this is the first time I've actually felted an entire project. So now that I know how beautifully the Peyton's wool roving felts up, I'm excited to use it in some other stuff, and I've got all kinds of ideas, but this is definitely the first one, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely do check out the link in the description. You'll see a bunch of giveaways that are happening right now on Moogly. Let's see what else. The new patterns. I'll be at DFW in April. I talk a little bit about that. Excuse me. And then I do wanted to point out the Leap Day Mystery Make-Along. That's not happening on YouTube. That's happening on my blog and on Marley Bird's blog. So definitely check that out. There will be both crochet and knit patterns being released over the course of the day for a Leap Day 2020. So I hope you'll join us for that. So, oh, and we had another great idea just pop up. It could be a cat toy. Absolutely. I think so. I'm not a vet. I think it'd be fine. But just in case, check with your vet if there's some reason cats shouldn't chew on wool. I don't know. I think it would be fine, but I'm not a vet. So full disclaimer there. I keep thinking it would be a lot of fun when my kids were little. How great, because we tried to have a lot of natural toys around when the kids were really little. I think, just to have a ball around the house. It's not too hard, I mean, I guess you could probably whip this at somebody. It's got some decent weight to it, but it's nice and soft. It's all natural, very sort of Waldorfy Montessori style, just for a play ball or, whatever you want. I think it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. I have to run to the eye doctor, and we have people creeping around outside from the internet company. So I'm glad we lasted this long. So I will go ahead and go, and we'll be back with another live here in a couple weeks. And of course, there will be a brand new video tutorial up on right here, the Moogly YouTube channel tomorrow, for the smokestack hat. So I hope you'll watch that too. Have a great day, everybody.